today. From Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to Week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. And this carries into the end zone. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The former Missouri Tiger, Drew Lock, will be at quarterback as he leads out the Denver Broncos.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with the receiver?
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Incomplete on the
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
at their own 25-yard line.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Lock trying again after the pick 6. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Brian Burns able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Lock. Incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Lock again here on 2nd and 10. Five yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races. A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out at Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
We know the arm strength is certainly there. He's got a big-time cannon for an arm, and that's not a surprise. He's the son of a former Major League pitcher, so the bloodlines come into play. The biggest question for Patrick Mahomes, can he harness that big...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line.
Kansas City Chiefs.
And that was a high degree of difficulty on that one, but to me, it goes back to fundamentals and determination. High point the football and declare it yours.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. Throw left side complete. It's Curtis. And they move this all the way down to the 9. What a good pickup there, 21 yards.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
And he's going to go down, sacked right around the 17. Andrew Billings gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now 1st quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the 2nd one. Now they're hoping to turn it into 1st downs and hopefully points.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lock. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred. On
2nd down, here's Lock. That's caught by Ware. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Locke going to try and throw on third down. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here's Hill on the return. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well.
Oh, man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory.
Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Locke and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Intercepted. The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Pass intended for number 82. Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
2 seconds to go, first quarter. On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after 1.
Broncos nothing.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
Right there, 54, right there, right there. 57.
Mahomes now to throw. And he finds Seals-Jones complete. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Rookie Seals-Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. He's definitely making his mark early in the year from the tight end position. 2 games played, 2 touchdowns.
And from what I've seen on tape so far this year, his ability to use the fakes well, his body in the red zone, they should continue to look his way through the entire season.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
Drew Lock once again leads the Broncos out. The second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
So this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. On the draw, here's Sanders. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Miles Sanders.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. On 1st down, Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Completes it to Hardman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a 1st down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Clyde.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
On third down, here's Edwards-Helaire. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Frank Reich, he didn't even seem hesitant about this. He wants to go for it on 4th down. They'll go. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. 4 yards on the pickup, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On 2nd and goal, Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. And he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Extra point safely through. And the route is on here in this first half.
Harrison's Butker.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Broncos and Cortland Sutton heading back out there. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait to the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They get 17 more on that one and another first down. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on it.
And the pressure gets to him again.
So we'll recount real quick. He had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Braden Mann now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That's going to be caught. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Goes take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Denver's offense ready to go again. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
At the 27-yard line.
A final shot before half for Locke. Open man here, Sims complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime. A final shot before break. Locke. He'll lay this one out deep for Sims. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have hit halftime. Still an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3.
Joey's
ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They played the Browns last week, got the victory in that game, and so far so good as they've got the lead here. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Second half starts with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Here we go. Mike 35, Mike 35. 3 bucks, 3 bucks, 3 bucks.
Mahomes going to throw. And going deep for Hill. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the the Chiefs just continue to pour it on. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. Hey, that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Harrison Butker to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26.
Drew Lock once again leads the Broncos out. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
Fumble on the play.
A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Lock working out of the gun. On the slant, completes to Sutton. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
1st down, Denver.
Here's Sanders. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
This will be caught at about the 5. And the Broncos are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. 1st down Broncos as Locke finds Judy.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Check. 59 Mike. Check.
They'll run with Sanders, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Shotgun snap to Lock. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's fourth down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Chiefs 49.
Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
KC's offense ready to take over. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Watch the run. Mike 35. It's a party now. Slam.
Edwards-Helaire on the counter, and he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Mahomes. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Curtis. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup. Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
To 2nd and 10.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
43.
Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw, it's Mahomes.
He'll find Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That third down conversion good for 23.
Good for the Kansas City Chiefs. First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
For Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a dump off here complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing on first down is Locke. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders.
Locke's pass.
Not much there, only a yard. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down. Locke. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy.
And it's third down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And this is going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game. And then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Edwards-Helaire. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know what you call it, revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Lock. This is the tight end, Njoku. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
He completes this to Sutton. 11 more on that one and another first down.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Denver.
Again, they'll throw with Locke. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Brian Burns picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lock. And he's going to go down again. Brian Burns getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So 3rd and long now for Locke and the Broncos following the sack. From the gun, it's Locke. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now here comes Kansas City. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
He's crazy. Empty. Yellow.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule, because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants him to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Broncos 6. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, Locke. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Locke. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down. Again, it's Locke. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like in the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Block. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. From the gun, block. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
First and 10.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Mahomes going to throw it here. That to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch.